You guys are still here, huh? Okay. All right. Well, then I'll do the next video in the series, which is the issues of with the Google Maps interrupts. That I okay, here's the thing. So, yeah, uh Google Maps is not the easiest thing to deal with on iOS. Honestly, I mean, so there's an issue around over the overloaded function in when you're delegates when you're trying to use a delegate for iOS. When you're trying. Okay, let me back up. When you're trying to call the using Kotlin native code, you're trying to call into the iOS system, the iOS operating system calls, and you're trying to use delegates. Well, the way it works on iOS is each function has got the same exact name, except the parameters. The parameter names are different. Some of the types can be the same. Um, so I got it to work so you could have one function that has one type, but there seems to be some issue with it. I don't know what's going on with it. But if you want to have the same type, like the same parameter with the same, I'll go into it. So you get a compile error. That's phantom. So the error is indicated in the IDE, but it compiles and runs fine. that that kind of stuff makes me crazy. Like, yeah, I know we're working the alpha stuff, but it's kind of been like this the whole time. I don't know how long you've been on Android, but it's just been like this kind of stuff. I'm whining. I'm kind of complaining. Okay, so you have to use a special annotation that I found digging deep into the bowels of JetBrains of support forums for this stuff. So I found a special annotation that you have to use to just make it work at all, even with just one delegate. Uh, Otherwise, the function is not called. So yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. So we're in the Google Maps here, and let me close that up here. So where are we at here? We're in okay, so we're in the iOS main Google Maps. You can see it's got the squiggle here. And look at that. And this is what I've been working with and compiling and running. It says the return type of map view is not a subtype of the return type of blah 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 of this thing. So this says the return type is unit, which is not a subtype of the overridden public open expect map view. Okay, so these things, so you can have one delegate with these exact parameter types, not the parameter name, but parameter types. And then there's the way they set it up in iOS is they have the same name with different parameter name. It'll have the same function name here, but it'll have a different types and the different names here, but the types will be the same. So you can have two different delegates using this suppress thing. If you don't have the suppress thing, you get this weird error message here. You get these little weird error message things here. It gets super confused. So the tip I got on JetBrains was that you got to put this annotation here. This I believe that this kind of crap is just completely unacceptable, but whatever. It's 2024. We're still working with this crufty stuff that hasn't changed in 35 years. Anyway, so yeah, so this is what I came up with. You can suppress these things. It still complains here. Now I have to do a recompile, I guess, to get this to work. But basically, if you yeah, so if you turn these things off here like this, it'll compile and run, and allow you to have one type. Okay, so this it allows you to have one of these. One function with these two different types. It's sort of like how that dependency injection stuff work used to work. You have, it's based on the types, not the actual names of the parameters. So I'm sure they're gonna address this. It must be an alpha version thing, but this is the problem I was having. Yeah, so it sets the delegate here as a variable, but then it gets set here. So this is so I'm basically writing iOS code in Kotlin instead of Swift. And this is required to use the UI kit Google Maps implementation, which is right here. So it's just using the Google Map view that's coming from right here. Here it is, right here. Yeah, so GMS. So it's using the GMS map view from iOS. So yeah, it's a little gotcha. It took me a while to figure that out. It's definitely not obvious, and I'm sure it's just alpha stuff. I'm sure they'll address it, but it definitely drove me up the wall because I wasn't able to get the tap info marker working. And it does still show this thing, so I have to clear this now and do a build to make this go away. But it'll compile now and run. Let me do that real quick. Yeah, so as soon as I started the compile, the error message just goes away. And you still get this one. This one's still here. It still thinks it's a compile error. It's not a compile warning. It's compile error. This is the kind of stuff that's super annoying when you're using alpha. Anyway, I'll quit complaining. Next one, next video is gonna be permissions. How do you handle permissions both cross platform? So that'll be the next one.
Recording ended.